Strider, and Jeff Siegel, official from Huntley, Illinois. Thank these men for their great contribution to baseball in Illinois. We appreciate their efforts this time with your applause. Let's go behind the scenes of IHSA state final events. Follow the IHSA on Twitter and the account at IHSA State. The Bobcats of Somonauk. The Black Cats of Goreville. These are the home team. Let's meet the starting lineup for this championship game. First for the visiting team, the Bobcats of Somonauk. Defending the record 24-6. Leading head coach Troy Felton. With a career record 24-6 in his first season. And now for the starting lineup. Leading off, the center fielder, number 9, Clint Rader. Adding second, this afternoon's starting pitcher, number 4, Nate Wegener. Adding third, the third baseman, number 14, Johnny Johnson. Adding fourth, the first baseman, number 23, Ryan Lundgren. Adding fifth, the catcher, number 12, Andrew Johnson. Adding sixth, the shortstop, number 11, Jacob Kenyon. Adding seventh, the right fielder, number 6, Brady Strider. Adding eighth, the second baseman, number 5, Andy Jackson. And adding ninth, the left fielder, number 13, Ben Svoboda. And the rest of the Bobcats from Somonauk. And now the home team on the scoreboard for this championship game, the Black Cats of Goreville. They're in the game record 27-6. Head coach Sean Strick. With a career record of 273, 158 over 14 years. And now for the starting lineup. Leading off, the third baseman, Batting second, the shortstop, number 12, Braden Webb. Batting third, the starting pitcher, number 34, Brody Lennon. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 17, Chance Geringer. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 20, Peyton Guyman. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 27, Peyton Massey. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 11, Grant Lydell. Lydell hitting the left fielder, number 4, Nolan Vaughn. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 1, Blaine Dunning. And batting ninth, the first baseman, number 33, Connor Johnson. And the rest of the Black Cats of Goreville. The umpires for this championship game, behind the plate from Fairfield, Bob Edwards. Along the first base line from Rochelle, Roy Snyder. And along the third base line from Vandalia, Carl Shree. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise this time. Gentlemen, move your caps and face the colors to the left of center field, your hand over your heart. And join our soloist, Riley Morris, a senior from Chatham-Glenwood High School, as he sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Players and coaches wish each other good luck on the field. The IHSA, board of directors, and member schools expect to promote sportsmanship by all athletes, coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting participants and officials in a positive manner. Do what's right.
6 years ago, the Goreville Black Cats finished second in the state in Class 1A. Somonauk Bobcats, in 68 years of baseball history, they have never reached the state championship game. One of these cats are going to make it and bring home that first place trophy. Your 1A championship coming up next.
This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com.
The 1A Baseball Championship comes your way from Dozer Park in downtown Peoria. Black Cats, Bobcats. We've got it for you here as I'm joined by Hall of Fame coach Mark Lindo. And Mark, as so often is the case, championship games, the first place you look is the pitching.
Both pitchers have an opportunity to set the tone for their team early, pound the strike zone, let the defense make plays, turn it over to their offense. They want to be very efficient in their pitch count early on, especially.
Somonauk 24-6 on the season. They'll be batting first. They'll go this way. Center fielder Clint Rader to lead things off. The pitcher Nate Wegner bats second. Johnny Johnson playing third base today, hits in the third spot. Ryan Lumsden, the cleanup hitter, is at first base. The catcher Andrew Johnson bats fifth. Jake Kenyon at short. He hits sixth. Seventh place hitter is the right fielder Brady Kreider. Andy Jackson, the second baseman, hits eighth. Ben Swoboda in left field bats ninth. Defensively for Goreville, it's Nolan Vaughn in left, Peyton Massey in center, Peyton Guyman in right. Jared Vaughn at third. Shortstop is Braden Webb. Blaine Dunning at second. Connor Johnson at first base today. The catcher is Chance Duringer. And we saw a little bit of him yesterday. That's Brody Lennon.
Brody Lennon threw 10 pitches yesterday. Basically just a bullpen session. He is their main man. Left-hander, good-looking young man, 6'2", an earned run average that now has creeped under the 1 mark. 75 punch-outs, 25 base-on balls in 58 innings pitched. He's allowed just 49 hits as we get ready for the 2A or 1A state championship. Somonauk, Clint Rader steps to the plate to call the first pitch. The Hall of Fame voice of the IHSA, Dave Bernhard.
Thank you, Mark. Let's get things rolling for Somonauk. They got here by virtue of a 4-3 win yesterday in the semifinals over Salt Fork. The first pitch from Brody Lennon is swung on by Clint Rader. Dropping fast, and that will find grass in short right field. One pitch and a base runner for the Bobcats from Somonauk.
Clint Rader, a soccer player, has speed, has good footwork. Came out to the team after playing his freshman year, sat out sophomore, junior year. Little did he know he'd be leading off the state championship game with a single. But I flat out guarantee Troy Felton and his teammates are happy he did.
Left-hand hitting Nate Wegner. Looking to bunt for a base hit. That's a pretty good bunt. Lennon, the lefty, fires. Good job by Brody Lennon. The bunt will advance the runner. So Wegner did his job, and so did Lennon.
Extremely good play by Lennon as he made his pitch, just hopped off the mound. Cat quick, like a black cat would, I assume. A good execution by Wegner, but Johnny Johnson, arguably their best hitter, comes in 480 or 529 now after yesterday. Has a chance. The table is set.
Lennon will look to second, delivers to Johnson, and Somonauk coming out. They have swung or bunted the first pitch in each of the first three at bats, and you see Troy Felton, the first-year head coach for Somonauk. He wants to get out here, especially as the visitor, and play very aggressive offensively early.
Wide open stance by Johnny Johnson. He'll close it down as he steps toward the pitch. He's going to think middle opposite here.
He goes, and it is very opposite and very foul. Johnny Johnson, you mentioned this season, he has been everything for this Somonauk team. That .529 average, 1 for 3 yesterday, drove in a run. He had a triple.
Just a junior, and he is a one to watch next year.
He did it on the mound yesterday as well. Picked up the win, went all 7 innings, gave up just 5 hits, 3 earned runs, struck out 5. Only threw 98 pitches, so he would be available in this ball game today. That's the best that Johnson was going to do at that pitch from Lennon, right down there and in.
Nice job by Lennon. He went away, and then down and in with the breaking ball. Tried to tie him up inside his hands, but you mentioned a great job by Johnson just being able to foul that off. Still in the hole 1 and 2, so Lennon can go back on the outer edge if he so chooses.
Goes inside, it's rifled up the middle. Peyton Massing charging from center field. Rader being waved around, the throw. Somonauk on top, 1-0.
That was a pitch that he missed in the zone. Yes, that's right. You can be wild in the zone because he did miss inside, and Johnny Johnson, he hurt that mistake. Hit it hard to center field. Peyton Massey, he double clutched, and the reason I bring that up is that allowed the base runner Johnson, he went from first to second on that throw, probably an ill-advised throw all the way home, which allowed another runner now to be in scoring position.
Scoring position for Ryan Lumsden, the cleanup hitter. The wide open left-handed stance, lefty versus lefty here. Lumsden yesterday 1 for 3, scored a run and drove in a run. Big breaking ball from Brody Lennon. Lennon yesterday, 2 innings pitched, he only threw 10 pitches. Lubsden 439 average on the season coming into this tournament. Up high.
6 hits for Somonauk in their semifinal win. They have 2 already here. They come out very, very aggressively.
Somonauk is falling behind in 3 of their last 4 tournament games. And obviously has won all of them. This one is lofted to Massey in center. He broke back. Now he'll have to come in. He'll make the catch. Peyton Massey able to recover for the big out.
And an excellent recovery it was. He did break back. Then he found the baseball, came in, and unfortunately for him, he slipped. He went straight out on the turf to his chest, was able to regroup and stay down on the turf but catch the baseball for the second out. Disaster avoided right there by Goreville's defense.
Catcher Andrew Johnson hits with 2 outs. He had a couple of hits yesterday, 2 RBIs. He had 2 of the 6 hits for Somonauk in the 4-3 win over Salt Fork. .348 average coming in, now with 37 runs batted in. Goes after that high pitch, followed off the top part of this upper deck here at Dozier Park, home of the Class 1A and 2A baseball championships.
Wind blowing out here at Dozier Park. I'm actually going to cheat, go to my phone, and find out what the wind is and how much effect it is. The ball's been carrying the last couple days.
Johnson's able to spoil that one as Lennon tried to run it in on his hands.
Wind from the south, 6 miles per hour, so not a big boost, but definitely would aid a ball deep in the air.
Going out towards center field. Up and away. Muggy 73 degrees here as we have had varying reports of possible rain. Looks like it could rain, then it backs off. It's cloudy. Sunny all day yesterday in the mid-80s.
Humidity 70% as we speak.
Chopper to short. Webb gets that good hop. Now will retire the side, but not before Somonauk gets on the board. Leadoff single from Rader, advanced on a sacrifice bunt, and then Johnny Johnson drives him home. Half inning here in your Class 1A state championship, and Somonauk jumps on top 1-0.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
Olive Garden is bringing tempting new layers to our famous lasagna, starting at $11.99. With 3 new irresistible dishes like chicken parmigiana lasagna, ravioli alfredo lasagna, and seafood lovers lasagna. All with our unlimited salad and breadsticks, and all starting at $11.99. You won't want to miss a single layer, so come in now. Olive Garden, we're all family here.
This NFHS Network event is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Now that's something to smile about.
Goreville used a couple of 4-run innings yesterday in the 8-6 win over Oakville. Here's our starting lineup today. Jared Vaughn will lead it off. He's the third baseman today. Braden Webb at short. Brody Lennon bats third on the mound. The catcher, Chance Derringer, hits fourth. The right fielder, Peyton Guyman, in the 5th spot. Peyton Massey in center bats 6th. Brant Glidewell, the designated hitter, hits 7th. He's batting for Nolan Vaughn, the left fielder. Blaine Dunning is the second baseman, and Connor Johnson at first, and he bats 9th. Defensively for Somonauk, same outfield as, well, a slight adjustment in the outfield from yesterday. Ben Swoboda in left, Clint Rader in center, Brady Kreider is in right. Johnny Johnson heads over to third base. Jake Kenyon at short, second baseman Andy Jackson, Ryan Lumpson at first. Andrew Johnson behind the plate, and Nate Wegner, the lefty, gets the ball here in the championship game.
He is indeed a southpaw. his numbers look like this: 5-2 record, sparkling 1.79 earned run average, 55 strikeouts to go along with 20 walks, 43 innings pitched, 32 hits allowed. He's been effective. He must be today.
Straight up in the air, back to home plate, behind the screen, and it's Andrew Johnson who went right up next to the screen, and that is the tough one. He goes up against the screen. It hits the screen. You have to watch for that ricochet coming right back on you.
Among our keys today were set the table. Now, certainly in the first inning, Clinton Rader did that. He got on base and scored a run after a bunt. That is Jared Vaughn's job right now. And then 21. Each of these teams is looking for that magical 21st out to be crowned a title. There's an awful lot of plays to be made before out number 21 occurs, and somebody will be celebrating on that hill.
Second place finish for Goreville in 2010, third place in 2011. To the right side, who wants it? Second baseman Andy Jackson, first out in the bottom of the first. Shortstop Braden Webb will adjust his batting helmet, get into the batter's box. Webb yesterday had a hit and 3 official at-bats, drove in 2 runs, also scored a couple. Swings right through the 80-mile-per-hour pitch from Nate Wegner.
2010, 2011, 2016 for head coach Sean Tripp. So this is just old home for him right now. And don't think the young people in the community from a few years ago, these guys would have been watching. We say that all the time, but it's true. And right now, the 7th and 8th graders and such are watching. So that's how success breeds success. And especially in a small community, everyone looks up to the success of the high school athletes.
Goreville from Johnson County, Illinois, advanced to the sectional semifinal before they were eliminated last year. Somonauk made it all the way to the sectional championship game. So both teams last season able to get some valuable tournament experience, but not here on the biggest stage of them all. Webb will foul this one out of play. Sophomore shortstop. A young Goreville team. Only 2 seniors on this Goreville team, Nolan Vaughn and Jared Vaughn. And on the other side, just 2 seniors for Somonauk. That'll be Clint Rader and Jake Kenyon.
Both these teams will be reckoned with from the onset next year, but they got some work to do today.
Yeah, they're not looking to next year. And sometimes I think teams sometimes fall in the trap if they come up short, maybe not in a championship game, somewhere along the way saying, okay, well, we're a bunch of juniors, we'll get them next year. You get 1 shot, and if you get 2, you're lucky. Webb making Wegner work here. Nate Wegner will mix in a knuckleball every once in a while. Center fielder Clint Rader has a beat on this one. 2 up, 2 down. Brody Lennon will come to the plate. 2 for 4 yesterday. Had a triple, 3 runs batted in. Or Lennon, who started yesterday at first base before finishing it up on the mound.
Yeah, you take a look at Somonauk. They beat Elgin Academy in the sectional 4-3, so a 1-run win. Then they beat Freeport Aquin in the super sectional 3-2 after trailing 2-0. Then their win yesterday 3-2 or 4-3. So it has not been cruise control. Everything's been a nail biter of recent past.
High hopper over the head of the third baseman, Johnny Johnson. Lennon on with a 2-out single to left. Well, that's been one of the things that Troy Felton, the head coach for Somonauk, has been focusing on coming into the tournament, being prepared to play from behind, knowing that there'd be some close games, and the key to that is not panicking. And that was the case yesterday as Salt Fork scored a run early in that ball game before Somonauk came back for the win. Courtesy runner will be Grant Venus for Brody Lennon.
So Lennon keeps the inning alive, moves the line for Duringer, who has gap ability, 2 outs. Somonauk defense should move back, 2 outs, no doubles defense, and they do just that. Svoboda, Rader, Kreider left, center, right, respectively. Very deep, going to be hard to split those gaps.
Duringer had a hit and 2 at bats, and that jumps up over the glove after hitting the dirt. And that will advance Venus to second base.
So basically a free advancement, if you will. And now the infield has a little bit more pressure on it to keep the ball, lay out for a ball, keep it in the infield area, even if you can't complete a play.
Erringer takes a big hack at it. Left fielder Ben Swoboda playing very deep. Center fielder Clinton Rader, about medium depth, as is the right fielder Brady Kreider. Again, out of play to the right side.
I think you might like to have Jackson at second base move back just a little bit, almost toward the dirt. You want to do anything you can to save angles right now. Keep the ball in the infield, especially with 2 strikes on the hitter.
And a called strike 3. Breaking ball from the lefty gets Derringer looking. So potential tying run stranded at second base, and 1 inning in the books here in your Class 1A state championship. And it finds Somonauk on top of Goreville 1-0.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
Somonauk will play with the lead here as we start the top of the second inning. It will be 6, 7, and 8. Jake Kenyon, Brady Kreider, and Andy Jackson for the Bobcats. Again, anybody you see in a gold jersey or a blue jersey, all but 4 of them are underclassmen. Jake Kenyon, one of those that is not. He is a senior, 6 foot, 180-pounder.
And Lennon, the pitcher, 6'3", 180, only a sophomore. So imagine when he gets to be 6'4", 6'5", and goes to 210 or 220. He projects really well. Goreville enrollment 201, Somonauk about 268.
The valedictorian of the Somonauk senior class, Jake Kenyon, will step to the plate. Inside to him, to Kenyon. He had the 2-run single in the bottom of the 6th inning to defeat Aquin 3-2, the biggest hit of Kenyon's life. And he's looking maybe for a bigger one somewhere in this ball game today. He takes a big hack at that one.
There are not many times you don't complete the tournament run without a close game, miraculous finish, and come from behind. Yes, it does happen, but not often.
Did that scrape the jersey of Kenyon? Yes, it did. That ball just kept coming and coming and coming, and for the second inning in a row, leadoff batter for Somonauk reaches base. And head coach Sean Tripp checking with our home plate umpire Bob Edwards to make sure that indeed was a hit by pitch, because it went directly into the glove of Derringer. Bob Edwards, our home plate umpire. At first base, it's Roy Snyder. Carl Shreve at third for the 1A championship.
Well, for the second consecutive inning, one of our keys to the game was set the table. And leadoff man Clint Rader was on and scored in inning number 1. Leading off the second, Kenyon is on. Let's see if they play bunt baseball once again.
He was going to swing. The check swing fouled back.
A little bit different thought process right now by Troy Felton because they are toward the bottom third of their order.
able to hold up on that one. You were talking about Somonauk and their close games in the tournament. Only one close game for Goreville. That came in the regional championship ball game, a 2-1 win over Shawnee. Though yesterday, Goreville played from ahead. They were up 4-0, then fell behind 5-4. That off the glove of Duringer, and that will move Kenyon into scoring position on the pass ball.
So there's your bunt, if you will, the free move to second base. They had moved along a runner on a ball back to the screen earlier, so you got to execute between pitch and catch. It's got to be executed. You cannot give up free bases against quality baseball teams.
Let's see if Brady Kreider can get this ball to the right side to advance his runner with a big hole between first and second. 312 average for Kreider this year.
Yeah, Dunning, the second baseman's on the hold. He's way over, about 6 to 8 feet away from second base. So a big hole between he and Connor Johnson.
Kreider right up the middle, off the glove of Lennon into center field. Kenyon on the move. The throw not in time. And the throw will advance Kreider to second. It's 2-0 Goreville.
That ball was scalded right off the glove of the pitcher. A ricocheted pass. Brandon Webb got back into center field. Peyton Massey picked it up in a hurry for the second consecutive inning. Massey threw the ball all the way home where there was no play for the second consecutive time. The person that got the base hit, in this case Kreider, able to advance to second base on the throw home.
Number 8 hitter Andy Jackson will step in. The corners are very deep. A little bit inside. I say that because you may think here at number 8, you may think about bunting, and Goreville is not considering that option with their corners. Kreider, pretty good lead at second. Jackson swings away. That's a fair ball. That will advance the runner. And nearly thrown away by the first baseman, Connor Johnson, but the 5-3 putout will move Kreider to third base with one out.
Now batting number 13, Ben Svoboda.
Be interesting right here to see if Sean Tripp plays his infield in, already chasing a couple. He really has to. The only way he would not is if he thought his team was going to get 6-7 runs. So they have to bring in everyone to the grass.
For Ben Swoboda. Swoboda, a little nubber. That's going to get the job done. It will be an error on second baseman Blaine Dunning. Kreider was off from third. That would have been a very tough play had Dunning been able to handle it cleanly. But with that second run of this inning, it becomes a 3-0 Somonauk lead.
So that throw to home advanced Kreider to second. Then Kreider was able to advance from second to third on the 5-3. So always one base 90 feet closer allows that play to have to be made. Pulls the defense in. Definitely the game within the game right there.
And another base hit. This one from Rader, his second of the day. Pulling into second is Swoboda. And the Bobcats are swinging the bats early.
49 hits in 58 innings pitched on the season for Lennon, but right now there's already 4 hits with only 4 outs in this baseball game. Somonauk coming out free and easy and executing efficiently and in an excellent fashion.
Sean Tripp will make the walk to the mound. This is more of a conversation. This is to slow the game down a little bit here. And he may wait as long as he can until Bob Edwards, our home plate umpire, breaks it up.
Coach's job here is no matter what demeanor he takes to the mound, sometimes it's a challenge, sometimes it's a chew out, but as a coach, you always want to leave that conversation saying something positive. Leave your athletes with a positive experience. You're going to get the next out. Stay out of an inning. Make the next pitch. All of those things can be taken in a positive connotation.
2 hits in the first inning, 2 more here in the second. 3 runs are in for Nate Wagner. 1 out. Wegner right through it. 77 miles per hour from Lennon.
Connor Johnson, first baseman, up right by the cutout. So that leaves some angles. If Wegner can turn on one, he'll get the ball past the first baseman.
And that ball just kept on breaking, and Wegner just could not pull the trigger on it. Advantage Lennon at 1-2. Wegner stepped out, called time. His head coach, Troy Felton, came halfway down the line, clapped his hand, said, let's go. Just missed. Good location right there from Lennon.
Wegner's really got to think to keep his right shoulder, his front shoulder in, and think to hit the ball the left side. Otherwise, against the left-handed slants of Lennon, you have a tendency to pull off the baseball.
30 runs batted in for Wegner, but he will have a seat in the dugout as the hook came into play. First strikeout of the game. It's a second out of the inning for Brody Lennon.
Just a nasty pitch. Tip your cap to Lennon, get back to the dugout. If you're Wegner, get a glass of, a drink of water and know that you're pitching next inning.
Johnny Johnson, an RBI single in the first. If you're a Somonauk fan, you are saying, let's get one more this inning. Already 2 on the board. That just slipped out of Lennon's hand.
And Johnny Johnson would be with 2 outs in this situation. Wegner left-handed, Lumsden left-handed. Johnny Johnson's the one that they want to do just that, to drive in this run.
49 RBIs on the season for Johnson. 1 yesterday, 1 today. Jam shot's able to fight it off foul. Johnny Johnson yesterday picked up the victory. He had won 3 games in a week, 4 in the playoffs, and that was prior to yesterday's victory. He has 5 of the 6 victories, pitching victories, and he hits this ball hard to left field. It's hooking away from the left fielder, Vaughn. It will short hop the left field wall. Swoboda will come in to score. Johnson, a 2-out RBI double.
He got his hands through the zone, kept them in toward his body, barreled it up on the right down the middle of the plate. That ball was coming back into him from the left-handed hitter, and he drove that ball right off the left field wall, off one hop. That was a bullet.
Ryan Lumsden will look to add. Advancing to third on the play was Clint Rader, so 2 more runners in scoring position.
Swoboda scored. He had reached on an error.
Swoboda reached on an error. This inning started with a hit batter.
Somonauks had their leadoff man on and scored inning number 1. Their leadoff man on inning number 2 and scored.
Lumsden just gets a piece of it, and about 200 Somonauk fans yelled, go, go, go. That ball was just off the end of the bat.
It went back to the screen, so that's the one time I think you wish he wouldn't have got a piece of it.
We've already seen Lennon very tough on the left-handed hitting Nate Wegner. He made Lumsden look bad there. There's that breaking ball again, and he gets him. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Lennon, but, and it's a big one, 3 runs on the board for Somonauk. They do it by virtue of 3 hits, an error, a hit batter, and with that, it's an early 4-0 lead for the Bobcats.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life. It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Through 6 tournament games, Goreville has scored 63 runs, including 8 yesterday, and a win over Oakville. First batter here in the bottom of the second, and looping it in for a base hit is Peyton Guyman. Guyman will get it started for the Black Cats. Yesterday, Goreville a 4-run second inning. They had the 4-0 lead. Oakville kept coming back. Oakville eventually took a 5-4 lead, and then what did Goreville do? The very next inning, put 4 more runs on the board.
Well, 27 wins. They've scored double digits 13 times. So don't think for a moment that they're not capable of an offensive onslaught. And they don't need to check in at 4 runs right now. They just need to chip in.
And that was the message that's delivered in the third base dugout is, look at the board, fellas. We're in the second inning. Talk about the number of times that Goreville in double digits, 13 times for Somonauk. They scored 35 runs in their regional wins over Leo and Serena. That pitch just ran right away from Peyton Massey.
68 years since Somonauk started baseball. And they're in the state finals. It took them a while, but they're here.
Got a piece of it, but went down swinging. Massey becomes the second strikeout victim of Wegner.
Wegner has a mound presence. He looks and projects himself with confidence. He knows what he's doing on the hill. He can't overpower you, but he's crafty. Great change of speeds there. Good late bite, changing the eye level of the hitter, Massey. The barrel went over the baseball as it dropped down late.
A little delay because the ball got loose in the Goreville bullpen. Zane Schutz warming up there. And our home plate umpire, Bob Edwards, had a conversation with Sean Tripp, who now will relay it to the man protecting the pitcher. That's Caleb Murray. And I think that conversation was, don't just be leaning on the railing. Be up here ready to go to work.
That's something I think happens all the time, but it's a little bit more visual in the state tournament.
All eyes are on everybody here. Brent Glidewell, the designated hitter, stands in with 1 out, and Guyman at first base. How about Peyton Guyman yesterday? Pitched a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, a run, threw 8 pitches, and he got the win. Right man, right spot.
That's a vulture win, we call that, right?
Yep. Quick set that time. Glidewell right on it.
And people watching saying, what's a vulture win? It means, like a vulture kind of hangs around and is there. He gets 1 out. His team scores some runs. They get the save. And he gets a W for all that hard work.
Breaking ball misses from Wegner. Glidewell hitting for the left fielder, Nolan Vaughn. Nolan Vaughn yesterday 0 for 3. Glidewell was 0 for 2. On the season, though, Glidewell 358 hitter with power. Line drive, step on first. That's a double play. Right into the glove of Lumsden. Guyman had nowhere to go, and so the double play will end the second inning, and it ends with Somonauk on top of Goreville 4-0 for the 1A championship.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
Somonauk Bobcats 24-6 coming into this championship ball game. The early 3-0 lead as we go to the third inning. Good news, bad news. The good news is they have 4 runs on the board. The bad news is the first 2 innings they left a total of 3 men on base, all 3 of them in scoring position. So Goreville, things certainly could have been worse for the Black Cats. We'll see how long Brody Lennon lasts, not in terms necessarily of Sean Tripp's decision, which will actually be forced upon him by the effectiveness of the Somonauk hitters, who have already reached 5 times on hits, 1 time on a hit batter and another on an error. Andrew Johnson, the only batter for Somonauk to not come to the plate last inning. We'll start this one here in the third against Lennon. That curveball is 64 miles per hour, and it just keeps spinning, 60 feet 6 inches. Good hack and a fastball. So the difference in speed between those last 2 pitches, curveball at 64, that fastball at 79.
So changing speeds, changing eyes, moving the ball inside, outside, up and down, key to any pitcher's success.
That nearly got a piece of Johnson, much like it did last inning when Jake Kenyon was hit by a soft breaking pitch. First 2 innings, the leadoff man is reached for the Bobcats. Inside the bag at third base, down the left field line. Andrew Johnson, the big turn. Left fielder Nolan Vaughn comes up with it, and he will hold Johnson to a single. But for the 3rd straight inning, Somonauk has their leadoff man reach first.
Game key, set the table. They've done it in a trifecta fashion, first, second, and third. And this is an incredibly important inning for both teams. Somonauk with runs on the board in first and second, zeros for Goreville. If you get a shutdown inning and then score next, if you're Goreville, you're in good shape. But if Somonauk just keeps adding and adding, this one could get away, especially against ace Brody Lennon.
Clayton Morris comes on to be the courtesy runner for Johnson with Kenyon at the plate.
Got an email from athletic director Todd Tripp that he wants to come up and meet us. Why? I don't know.
Well, do we have a little peephole here? We'll lock the doors. Yeah, we're fine.
Todd, the athletic director,
yeah.
the younger brother of Sean, had a 22-win basketball season this year.
Looking at sacrifice. Kenyon will pull it back. Goreville playing everybody straight away here. Kenyon pulls back on a bunt, and as that pitch was coming in, the second baseman, Blaine Dunning, from his double play depth position at second base, was somewhat jogging in. He had reached the infield grass. That was the bunt coverage that was on. He was going to keep coming if Kenyon had continued that bunt attempt. Chopper, double play opportunity. It's a little slow. They get one, not two. Webb had to wait for that one agonizingly long time before he got it to Dunning.
Yeah, and then his flip was more of, it had a little bit too much arc on it instead of a straight wrist flip. That's one of the few times you tell athletes, there's very, very few times in any sport that you don't want to follow through. But the side flip or the underhand flip is one that you don't. You want it to be straight and not have any arc to it to get the ball to your teammate as quickly as possible for a double play opportunity.
One gone now to Brady Kreider. Kreider with an RBI single in the second, also a run scored. He came home on Ben Swoboda's ground ball. Count in the favor of the number 7 hitter in the Somonauk order, Kreider. Hard on the ground. Oh, what a slick backhand by Webb. 1 and 2. That is a big-time double play. 6-4-3. Webb to Dunning to Johnson, and it gets Goreville out of the inning. Defensive gem sends us to the bottom of the third.
This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
That was a nice double play.
It was started by sophomore Braden Webb. That was the pick, the feed, the turn, and it was exactly what Goreville needed at the time.
A backhand went to his knee, and then he threw the ball to his teammate Dunning coming right across the base. And Dunning had enough as he was coming across the base to push off with his right foot, redirect that throw right back to first, 6-4-3, and that would be a highlight if you were trying to teach your middle infield how to execute a double play.
The middleman of that double play, Blaine Dunning, will lead it off here in the bottom of the third inning, facing Nate Wegner, who has allowed a couple of hits, also has 2 strikeouts. It was Wegner last half inning. The last half inning he was out there that he was the benefactor of the double play. It was a line out and then a double off for runner at first base. Dunning looks at it all the way. 372 average from the 8th hitter in your lineup.
I alluded to at the top of the inning, very important that Goreville scores next. They have to get something on the board and get some type of momentum shift, some positive thinking in their minds, and put a little bit of doubt in a very confident Bobcat team right now.
Dunning with the triple yesterday, hard on the ground, Johnson away with it. And a little short hop pick by Lumsden over at first. Connor Johnson, the first baseman today. Johnson, the 5'11 freshman, got one at-bat yesterday, came off the bench to get the at-bat. He bats 9th, 333 average, a little bit deceptive coming into the tournament, 5 of 15. So limited plate appearances for Connor Johnson. And here he is starting and hitting in the state championship game. He was right on that pitch. That was an 80-mile-per-hour fastball from number 4 for Somonauk, Nate Wegner. Wegner, a junior. Again, just 4 seniors on both rosters combined in this game. Off the fist and right into the glove of Johnson at third. 2 up, 2 down. Jared Vaughn, the leadoff hitter for the Black Cats. He came into this game 27-6. Popped out to second his first time up. Tried to backdoor Vaughn. Nothing doing.
Wegner's retired 8 of the 9 hitters he's faced thus far.
That handcuffed the catcher, Andrew Johnson. See something like that and you think, well, were they crossed up on that? Ball and a strike. That's that last pitch. They called strike. Vaughn is able to hold up on a pretty good pitch. Center fielder Clint Rader playing very shallow. We've seen Rader play shallow in this tournament. Vaughn was all over that one.
Good pass to the baseball. That was an extra base gap type of swing. Head on the count 2-1. Sitting on a fastball, got it.
You know, it's interesting. You don't know whether it's a scouting report or just personal preference, but left fielder Ben Svoboda playing very deep. Rader in center field playing very shallow.
And Kreider playing normal. So they've.
2-out walk will send Jared Vaughn down to first. That's the first walk today, given up by Wegner. Braden Webb, who saved runs last inning by starting a double play. He flew out to center. He'll come to the plate now with Vaughn at first. Down 4-0, takes maybe a little bit of aggressiveness on the bases away from the Black Cats. Vaughn at first, though, pretty good lead. Facing a lefty.
Ball was up. Andrew Johnson tried to frame it, tried to tug it down, didn't get the call. Now doing a very, very smart thing by going out and talking with the pitcher. Catcher's job is to be the quarterback of the entire infield along with a shortstop, but to have a rapport with his pitchers. And you know what? Some catchers know what to say. Some don't, and that becomes an issue. But if you can be reassuring, if you can give one tip, if you can say finish your pitch, if you can say slow down, anything that would be reassuring, that just, you can be a coach on the field.
2-0 pitch. Now 2-1. Slow roller. Wegner. Oh, makes the play. I didn't think he had a chance. How about the lefty heading to that third base line, fielding and throwing a bullet over to first base to close out the inning. 2-out walk stays at first, and our third inning comes to an end. It's 4-0 Somonauk.
Olive Garden is bringing tempting new layers to our famous lasagna, starting at $11.99. With 3 new irresistible dishes like chicken parmigiana lasagna, ravioli alfredo lasagna, and seafood lovers lasagna. All with our unlimited salad and breadsticks, and all starting at $11.99. You won't want to miss a single layer, so come in now. Olive Garden, we're all family here.
This NFHS Network event is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Now that's something to smile about.
Starting to get a little bit deeper into this ball game. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Somonauk to bat with a 4-run lead. Earlier today in Class 1A, third place game, found Oakville knocking off South Fork by 5-0 score. Great game by Brendan Killian. Coming up later today, this afternoon, beginning at 3 o'clock, third place in 2A. It will be Murfreesboro taking on Rockford Lutheran. First time in 50 years in the state finals for Murfreesboro. First time ever for Rockford Lutheran. And St. Joe Ogden will bring their 35-3 record into the championship game, where they will face the 28-5 Reed Custer Comets. Fourth will begin with a hit batter. Andy Jackson hit by a pitch. So for 4 consecutive innings, Somonauk has had their leadoff batter reach base in some form or another.
And Brody Lennon, that was his 52nd pitch. 36 strikes in those pitches, but he's not been able to get the first out in any inning. 52 pitches overall, that's about 17 and a half an inning. Pretty high pitch count. His efficiency is down a little bit. You wonder how deep he'll be able to go in this baseball game.
Ben Swoboda reached on an error his last time up. Run scored on that error. And Swoboda has not shown bunt each of the first 2 times. Tough day yesterday for Swoboda. He is a .280 hitter. And yesterday it was 3 strikeouts in his 3 at-bats. It's a token toss to first base as Jackson back easily. 2 of the first 3 innings, leadoff batter reached and scored. And misses up and away to Ben Swoboda. He of the long hair, avid wakeboarder. We talked yesterday of, I don't know that Somonauk is the wakeboarding capital of the world.
Lake Holiday.
Okay. Ball is out of the zone.
Lake Holiday has a lot of recreational boating. Now, what kind of waves they have?
Well, that's where I was going. You're right.
Somebody's pulling the boat, right?
This is fisted into short right field, coming hard and unable to get it, and getting past Peyton Guyman. Jackson heads toward third. Troy Felton will hold him there. It's a double with nobody out. Runners second and third for Somonauk.
Bobcats get Andy Jackson on with a hit by pitch. Then Swoboda just flares one. He just dumped it out into right field. Caught in between was Guyman, who laid out for the ball. It skipped past him, goes as a bloop double. But a very, very unfortunate bounce away from Guyman if you're a Goreville fan. And once again, Somonauk with a table set. Good job by Coach Felton not sending him with nobody out. 1 out, 2 outs you might, but nobody out. The table is set for the top of the line.
Clint Rader, he's 2 for 2 today. The infield will have to come in. Curveball, backdoors Rader. Clint Rader didn't come out for baseball until the first practice of the year this season. And here he is in a state championship game. And this one's going to get through. Scoring is Jackson. Being waved is Swoboda. 2-run single. And a 6-0 lead for Somonauk as Rader cruises into second.
Rader is having a day. 3 for 3. Run scored, RBI. And he's glad he put his feet in the batting cages the 1st of March right now.
The infield was in. They had to be. And that high hopper took advantage, had the right angle. And the first 2 batters reaching have scored. The 3rd batter that reached Rader is still standing at second base, or he will be when we resume.
See the conference on the mound breaking up, and over on toward first base was Somonauk assistant coach Fran Kenyon. That's right, she had a nice conversation with Clint Rader. Number 10 of the coach's box, female coach, has full respect of her Bobcat players.
Nate Wegner has sacrificed bunt and struck out looking. They will appeal to third as to somebody missing the bag, possibly Swoboda missing the bag. Denied. Might not be a bad time right here to bunt for a base hit. Goreville kind of on the ropes. Corners are back, nobody out. Wagner, though, is going to swing away. Swing away with a 6-0 lead as Somonauk out hitting the Black Cats 8-2 here in the 4th inning.
Lennon came in with an ERA under 1 into this game, counting his innings yesterday. And he's already given up 8 hits today, 6 runs.
Sean Tripp decides to leave him in. You saw earlier lefty Zane Schutz, sophomore, warming up. Lennon, a sophomore. Peyton Guyman pitched yesterday. He's a sophomore. This to the right side. Advancing the runner to third. Rader is there with 1 out. Johnny Johnson, he's 2 for 2 today. RBI single in the first and a deep double to left field that short hopped the wall to drive in a run in the second.
I don't let Johnson beat me here. I don't know if I wouldn't just automatically put him on and go ahead and go with Lumsden, another left-hander, instead of allowing Johnson a good opportunity to drive in this run.
He's fooled by that off-speed pitch. Lumsden struck out his last time up, flew out the center his first time. You know, you set up a first and third, and you'd almost have to concede a stolen base. So
correct.
If you walked Johnson here, you're basically saying we're going to be playing second and third. This will score a run. Third RBI of the day from Johnny Johnson, and it's now a 7-0 Somonauk lead. So again, the throw home after the single by Clint Rader allowed Rader to get to second on the throw home. Infield ground out advanced him to third, 90 feet away. The infield ground out scores him.
Somonauk at this point, 2 outs, top of the 4th inning, has played as fine a baseball game as they could have hoped for or ever imagined.
Came in with a record of 24-6. And their mantra this year has been go up there and see what you can do and play baseball. Basically saying it's make it a simple game, and that's the way they have made it look today. Lumsden overmatched there by Lennon, but 3 more runs hit the scoreboard in the top of the 4th inning. We're halfway done with this one, and it is a surprisingly large 7-0 Somonauk lead over Goreville.
Heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo here as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Goreville chasing a 7-run deficit. Mark, you said earlier that you thought that Goreville was imperative for them to score the next runs. Well, in the meantime, Somonauk has gotten 3. I think the imperative nature of the game right now is Goreville has to score, and they have to kind of put some crooked numbers up there.
Yeah, the mountain has become much steeper to climb, and you have 2 ends to continue. You have Somonauk, who's just playing at a level of the physical level and a mental level that probably is the highest they've been all year, and Goreville back on their heels a little bit. Something drastic has to change mentally for things to happen.
And Lennon will start it physically with the hard hit to left field. He'll be held to a single, but for the first time today, the leadoff batter is on base for the Black Cats.
Wigner came into that inning with only 43 pitches thrown his first 3 innings, so what, about 14 an inning, pretty good there. 26 strikes, 17 balls, so he's been around the plate. And again, his team has made every play thus far.
Venus, a courtesy run for Lennon. 2 hits today for Lennon. He has 2 of the 3 hits that Goreville has been able to put on the board. Chance Duringer, a strikeout victim looking, and he's going to rifle one to right field. That one will be down. Venus will hit the bag at second. He will head to third. The Black Cats runners on the corners with nobody out here in the 4th.
See, so as soon as they put something on board, if they can finish this inning with a run or 2, they might be able to, put a little bit more positivity in their mindset. Baseball's such a mental game.
Courtesy runner for Duringer will be Logan Frasato. Peyton Guyton with a hit his last time up. Running through the string of sophomores here in the Goreville lineup. Guyton goes after that first pitch. That will drive Rader back. Tagging at third is Venus, and he will score easily. Black Cats on the board. It's now 7-1.
So Guyman does his job. He gets the Black Cats on the board. But in the meantime, Somonauk got exactly what they wanted. That's we'll trade that out at third. That run at third for the first out of an inning. Their only objective on the field is stay out of any kind of big inning. Run doesn't hurt you. Just stay out of a big inning. And that starts with the guy on the hill, Wegener, just keeping his composure and making one pitch at a time.
He will face Peyton Massey. And Goreville going up there. They're going after the first pitch. They know Wegener will be throwing his strikes to stay out of that big inning, and Black Cats are going up there hacking. Slow breaking ball stays up.
Yeah, Coach Tripp would like his team to take some more pitches to get into a pitch count and maybe coax a base on balls or 2, but no. He knows that Wegener's not cooperating. Wegener's not walking anybody at all.
4 hits now for Goreville. 2 strikeouts for Wegener. Only 1 walk. The right field. Kreider, they have to retreat. And you could tell that ball was going to drift a little bit because the center fielder, Clint Rader, was heading over to help out his right fielder, and then Rader, of course, went behind the right fielder, but really took an angle deep behind his right fielder, knowing that ball was carrying.
Good fundamental baseball by Rader doing the backup, and we didn't hear from up here, but he was probably saying, you got room, yours, being reassuring with his verbal cues.
2 outs now to Brant Glidewell. Glidewell hit the ball hard last time, lined into a double play, close out the second. Rosado, the courtesy runner, is at first. Off the beam, supporting the sweet level. Next week, the tournament heads to Joliet for Class 3A and 4A. And however you may be accessing us this weekend, just do the same next weekend. That'll work.
So we can do this 8 more times next weekend, huh?
Yep, we still have 2.5 games to go today. Have to take care of 2A coming up this afternoon. Glidewell's able to spoil that one. Murfreesboro and Rockford Lutheran will get our afternoon session started. That will be capped by St. Joe Ogden and Reed Custer for the 2A state championship. Glidewell waits, taps it out to second. He'll beat it. The error on the second baseman, Andy Jackson. Routine ground ball to Jackson. He just couldn't find the ears.
Jackson smacks his bare hand into his leather glove. Disappointed in himself. He's got to get his head right back up in case the next one comes his way. Got to make the next play.
A pinch runner for the designated hitter. Brendan Davis will go run at first base. So this is a substitution. And of course, Lidewell allowed to re-enter. Blaine Dunning, the number 8 hitter. Don't be fooled by the spot in the batting order yesterday. In his 2 official at-bats, Dunning with a triple brought a .372 average into this tournament. He scored a couple of runs. Dunning, a 5'11", 135-pound junior. 4 extra base hits this year, make that 5. 4 doubles and now a triple. Pretty big run at second base here. Wagner just tears the black off the corner of that plate.
Peyton Guyman warming up down in the Goreville bullpen.
We've been watching Wagner going to the set position. He doesn't hold it very long. He just sets because he has to and then delivers. He's not trying to deceive or even be too concerned about the runners with a 6-run lead. Curveball just a piece. Boy, you could just barely hear the contact of bat on ball for Dunning. Dunning grounded out to third. Last inning. Three-two count now. The throw down from Johnson to Lumsden. Lumsden was playing behind the runner, and that's where he caught the ball.
Wagner shaking off his catcher Johnson on that 2-2 pitch.
Ripped inside the line, down the left field line. Scoring will be Frasato. Being waved around is Brendan Davis. That is a 2-out, 2-run double. And all of a sudden we have a 7-3 game.
So you have a couple scenarios here to review. One, the error at second base allowed this inning to continue. 2 runs scored. Secondly, the pinch runner came all the way home to score. So Coach Tripp knows he needs, number 2 and 3 before he needs 5, 6, and 7. So they get their 2 runs in, they're back in the ball game, and they seized a little bit of momentum.
Johnson lifts this one to left field. Swoboda will settle underneath it. He will make the catch. 3 huge runs, the last 2 coming on a 2-out double down the line by Blaine Dunning. And through 4, it's now 7-3. Somonauk on top of Goreville in the 1A state championship.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
A lot of action in that 4th inning. In the top half, Somonauk picked up 3 runs, take a 7-1 lead. What did Goreville do? Came right back in the bottom and matched that 3 spot, bring it back to a 4-run difference. So we have played 4, 3 innings left here in your 1A championship, a 7-3 lead. Somonauk over Goreville. The Bobcats from Somonauk, 7 runs, 8 hits, and an error. Goreville, 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. We'll start the Top of the 5th inning with Andrew Johnson, who is 1 for 2 today. He'll come in against Brody Lennon. Lennon just keeps hanging around out there.
Lennon's got to master the art of getting the first hitter out today. That's what's caused him trouble. He's got to take over this game for his team.
Yeah, this is a huge inning after his team generated the momentum in the bottom half. But each of the first 4 innings, leadoff man on base. 3 of those 4, they've scored.
Lennon's got to have a shutdown, and he's got to throw a 0.
1 run in the first, 3 in the second, 3 more in the third for Somonauk.
Somonauk started this season 1-3, lost the very first games at Kingston, lost games to Putnam County and Plano, sandwiching between a win against Westminster.
Spinning down the right field line, foul into the bullpen area. Three of the last 4 games, Somonauk has played from behind to come out victorious. They jumped out early here today. Jumped out to a 7-0 lead before Goreville knocked 3 runs off that lead moments ago. Into the glove of catcher Chance Duringer, and his counterpart, catcher Andrew Johnson, will step out of the box. He'll come back in. Up the middle, and for the 5th inning in a row, Somonauk has their leadoff man on base.
That was a fastball that was coming in on the hands of Johnson, but he had quick enough hands before it got too deep to him. He barreled it up and was able to be strong enough to get it by the diving outreach opportunity of Dunning at second base.
Clayton Morris once again to run for Johnson. And now here you are in the 5th inning. Does your offensive strategy change here with the 4-run lead as we approach beyond the halfway point? Do you have Kenyon bunt here? Do you swing away? But first we are going to have a pitching change as Sean Tripp waves into his dugout. Grant Venus will come into the game as we will exchange some gloves, exchange some players, and a new pitcher will come in for Goreville.
Should be Peyton Guyman if they go to the person that they were warming up in the pen. Peyton Guyman coming in from right field. As you said, a bit of an equipment change. Brody Lennon goes out with 3+ innings charged against him. Guyman's numbers read like this. Another sophomore, so Lennon a sophomore, backed up by Guyman, a sophomore on a hill. He's 2-1, 16 1/3 innings pitched, 1.71 earned run average, 16 strikeouts against 7 walks on the season, allowed 11 hits in that 16 1/3 innings. He's got one job only, and that's to keep his team within a grand slam, basically.
Our defensive maneuvers by Sean Tripp will result in this. You said Guyman to come in to pitch. That will move Lennon over to first base. Connor Johnson out of the game. Peyton Guyman coming in to pitch opens up right field, and Blaine Dunning will move from second to right. And second base will be manned by Grant Venus. So the net effect of all of that, your lineup card means that Venus will be in the 9th spot in the order, and that's the last batter that hit for Goreville, so Venus' spot won't come around for a while. Well, if we said yesterday Guyman vultured a win with 1/3 of an inning of work, he's now looking at the hold save situation here in the top of the 5th inning. Or check that I guess he'd look to vulture another win here.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, the hold save isn't going to quite cut it for him unless something crazily substitution would happen.
He'd have to earn this one, though. He'd have to throw some zeros up on the board and have his team come out.
That leads us to Jake Kenyon at the plate. Nobody gone here in the 5th. Kenyon swinging away. Venus, short hop, drop. They'll say it happened on the exchange. So Clayton Morris, the courtesy runner, is called out at second. A lot of Somonauk fans don't quite agree with that. One out for Brady Kreider.
Sometimes fans don't agree, and this is not a criticism. Sometimes they don't understand that ball was indeed caught. So the out is made. Just because it's dropped eventually, he did have that ball long enough. Was finished the first play. It was trying to complete the second part of that play.
One thing that Clayton Morris, the runner, did was he was busting it hard to second base, and then just right where Venus picked up the ball, just about 8 feet short of second. He could have had an easy tag, but Morris kind of stopped and kind of disrupted the whole flow and forced the actual force out. Count 0-2 to Kreider. Kreider had an RBI single, also bounced into a double play in this one. Hits this hard to left center field. Massey will give a little ground and make the catch for the second out. So Kreider got a pretty good piece of that one. With 2 outs, Andy Jackson, he led off last inning, hit by a pitch, and he scored. Kenyon will take his lead off of first.
Cameron takes the signal and then goes into the set position, kind of a crouch position right there. See him, knees flexed.
Slowly out to Webb at short. Long throw, and that ends the inning. So the leadoff batter went nowhere. Goreville a chance to come back in the dugout, do some more hitting. Go to the bottom of the fifth, 7-3, Somonauk.
This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com.
William Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage and men and women are merely players. But Mr. Shakespeare never met Stephen Curry. Ni hao, the guy who was in the gym every dang day. Patron saint of the underdog, the league's most unguardable player. Bang, he knocks it down. So my apologies to Mr. Shakespeare, because onto the stage of mere players enters the babyface assassin. And he's about to write his own story. Fall back.
Olive Garden is bringing tempting new layers to our famous lasagna, starting at $11.99. With 3 new irresistible dishes like chicken parmigiana lasagna, ravioli alfredo lasagna, and seafood lovers lasagna. All with our unlimited salad and breadsticks, and all starting at $11.99. You won't want to miss a single layer, so come in now. Olive Garden, we're all family here.
If Goreville would like to start a rally, this is the part of the order they'd like to do it. They'll start at the top. Jared Vaughn, their leadoff hitter to start, Braden Webb, and then Brody Lennon. And a little bit of a delay as we get the bullpen down the right field side organized a little bit for Somonauk down there warming up, or soon to be warming up, will be Nolan Wegner. He's a 6'2", 205-pound freshman, the brother of the current pitcher for Somonauk. That's Nate Wegner. Wegner, the lefty on the mound right now.
Vaughn, arguably the fastest man on this team, has not been on base today. He can be their catalyst.
Heading to count 2-0. He took a 2-0 cut. 359 hitter this season. Just 10 RBIs. Picked up his 11th. 10 RBIs coming in. Picked up his 11th yesterday. His one hit yesterday, a triple. Oh, he was looking for more than that on that. pitch up there on his chin.
Tough location to handle that pitch up and in at about 80 miles an hour, a little bit of giddy up.
It's an important pitch right here for Nate Wegner. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 5th. Goreville chasing 4. And the leadoff man is on, just as it was last inning. Second time in a row. Last inning, Brody Lennon reached. He ended up scoring the first of 3 runs that inning.
And we'll replay the comments from last inning when they put 3 up. Chasing 7-3 right now. They don't need to tie it. That does not need to be their mentality. They don't need a 5-run inning. They just need to keep pecking away and make things much more manageable for the last 6th and 7th inning of this baseball game. Put themselves in position.
Braden Webb, his older brother Nate, played on the Goreville team, the state final teams in 2010 and 2011. Ball gets loose for a moment on a wild pitch, and that will advance Vaughn to second.
Great base running, takes away the force out / double play as Vaughn read the flight of the ball. He saw it was a breaking ball in the dirt. Catcher Andrew Johnson hopped out in a minute, but probably would have made a better decision to pick it up with his bare hand rather than go from glove to bare hand.
This is through into left field. Tripp waves Vaughn. The throw comes home, and that will advance the runner to second. It's 7-4. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th.
And once again, Swoboda took that ball, threw it all the way home, allowing Webb to get the second base, takes away any force-out opportunity. There was no way they were going to throw Jared Vaughn out at home. So a fundamental play would be to get the ball back into the infield, throw it to second, keep the double play, and at least a force-out in order. So another man in scoring position because of the decision-making.
Troy Felton, the slow walk out to the mound, checking on his pitcher, Nate Wegner. Nate Wegner, the junior, really doesn't want to see his younger brother, the freshman, come in. Nothing about a sibling rivalry there, though I'm sure there is something somewhere. It's more like, okay, I want to take care of business on my own here. It's a long conversation there on the mound. Last 4 runs of this game been scored by Goreville.
And we mentioned it earlier, but it bears repeating. 13 times Goreville has scored in double digits. So there's not many times that they've had 4 or under. Not many times they've had 7 or under. This is an offense that can get after you in a hurry.
Well, we'll see how long Nate Wegner lasts. Lefty-lefty matchup here. However, Lennon has solved him for a couple of base hits today.
Took him to left field in a very fine, fundamental fashion last time.
They are sprinting in from the bullpen, so whatever their duties were down there, it has been completed. Lennon waited on that breaking ball. It stayed up. Nobody out here in the 5th. Chance Duringer on deck.
Wegner just right now, he's starting to rush a little bit. I don't mean rushing between pitches, but his front side, he's got to stay back over the rubber longer, stay back and make his pitch.
To left field, and another base hit for Lennon. Swoboda up with it, and this time Tripp will hold Webb at third. First and third, nobody out on Brody Lennon's 3rd hit of the day.
Boy, Lennon came in 485 into the tournament. He is a very, very fine hammer bat. That's the best approach you could possibly have as a left-hander, is go the other way. He just laced that ball. Line drive in the left field in front of Swoboda, and very wisely, Sean Tripp held him up. They have a chance for a big inning. You don't want to run yourself into the first out of the inning at home plate, especially trailing 3.
Webb at third, Lennon at first. Chance Duringer, line drive, base hit, left center. Webb scores easily. This ball continues to roll. Lennon, he's being waved. Here he comes. It's a 2-run double. And it's a 1-run game.
Talked about their explosiveness. Bing, bing, bing. Just hitting the ball on the button. And the off factor is gone. And the hold on factor, the mental change has definitely transpired here in this game. Yes, Somonauk still has a lead, but the momentum has been seized thus far in this last 2 innings by Goreville.
Back-to-back 3-run innings. We still have nobody out here in the 5th. The runner at second, and a pitching change being made by the Somonauk Bobcats. And making his way to the mound will be freshman Nolan Wagner, 6'2", 205-pounder.
Yep, let's repeat that. Freshman. He's a big old guy at 6'2", 205, going to grow into his body. Now, this is only his 6th game pitching. He comes in with a 3-1 record, just 17 innings pitched. So a tough job for him to get the last outs of innings number 5, 6, and 7 of the state tournament. He's been effective thus far. 23 strikeouts, only 12 walks, so 2-1 there, and a fine 0.82 earned run average. Just a freshman in this situation. Game on the line, and this game happens to be for the state championship.
We saw Ben Swoboda, the left fielder, coming out of the game. Nate Wagner to stay in. He is heading out to the outfield. I remember Johnny Johnson, the ace of this staff, playing third base today, threw 98 pitches yesterday. Still a 1-run lead for Somonauk. They scored the first 7 runs of this game. Goreville has come back to score the last 6. And there were no cheapies on these 3 consecutive hits this inning from Webb, Lennon, and Duringer after Vaughn started it with the leadoff walk. All 3 of those last hits came from sophomores.
Nate Wagner goes to center and pushes Clint Rader over to left. That's the defensive moves that are made as Nolan Wagner comes into the hill.
Peyton Guyman had a sacrifice fly his last time up, had a single the time before that. He has a tying run at second base. Nobody gone. Somonauk fans on their feet.
Nolan Vaughn has a sledgehammer in the dugout. Yes, a real sledgehammer. That's their rally tool. And it's working for Goreville.
Guyman followed by Massey, then Glidewell. 6 hits and 6 runs the last 2 innings. Guyman ropes this one. That will get down. Here comes the tying run. Goreville has come all the way back. The 4th hit in succession. An RBI single from Peyton Guyman scores Logan Frasato from second base, and we are dead even at 7.
Well, they had a total of 11 players come to the plate in the first 3 innings. Nothing going. Somonauk had continued to add and pad their lead. But we mentioned it early that Goreville had an omnipotent offense. They put 3 on the board in the 4th inning, and right now it's an onslaught of base hits.
Massey went after that first pitch. Hayden Massey 0 for 2 today. 322 hitter on the season.
Can't get more even than 7-9-1 Somonauk, 7-9-1 for Goreville up on the big board.
In the bottom of the 5th inning. Just missed. Somonauk scored a single run in the first, 3 runs each in the second and fourth. 3-run fourth, a 4-run fifth. Ties us at 7, still nobody out. The count will go to 2-1.
And defensively, the next play becomes that much more difficult when you're back on your heels just a little bit.
Massey, hard. Slick backhand, Kenyon. Over the glove of the second baseman, Jackson into right field. It will advance the runner Guyman to third. An error on the second baseman, Andy Jackson. And there is the defensive play you were talking.
Yeah, sometimes, when you're in great rhythm, they were playing flawless baseball. I mean flawless baseball. And we've talked about how a game can change within a game. A game can change within an inning. And it was one of those situations, honestly, I just had the feel. That defensively, that play becomes much more difficult, even the fundamental play, as everybody right now in a blue shirt feels duress.
Runners first and third. The infield will come in. That means they will concede the stolen base here to Massey. There he goes, swinging away, surprisingly, is Glidewell. And foul it out of play. Don't know whether Massey was running on his own there or it was a steal and hit.
Actually, you don't want to run to a line drive double play here.
That's ripped. Goreville will take the lead. Brant Glidewell, the RBI. It is 8-7 Black Cats.
Seven batters have come to home plate. Nary an out retired thus far.
5 hits in the inning out of those 7. A walk and an error the other 2. And now we will get a pinch runner, Nolan Vaughn, to come on for Glidewell. So Glidewell's day is done as he was run for earlier. Nolan Vaughn, who Glidewell had been hitting for, the left fielder for Goreville, will be out at first base with Massey at second. A 5-run fifth that followed a 3-run fourth. Blaine Dunning and 2 RBI single, big 2-out double last inning for Dunning. It was a double down to the left field line. Still nobody out.
Sean Tripp for Goreville has a 3rd place finish. He has a 2nd place finish. Trying to get the big one today.
Nolan Wegner on the mound in relief of older brother Nate Wegner. Somonauk defense has been on the field for a long time this inning. They have not retired a Goreville batter. Backing out of play.
Clint Rader in left field, extremely deep when you consider it's the 8th hitter in Dunning, and he has 2 strikes. The reason we talk about 2 strikes is hitters are usually more in a defense mode rather than aggressive mode with 2 strikes.
This one will go to center field. Wegner is there. That's the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Grant Venus. First time Venus has hit in this tournament. Venus, 5'11 sophomore. He has only had in 5 games this year prior to this tournament 4 official at-bats. He does not have a hit. And as expected, Venus asks to bunt. He's going to push it past Wagner. The infield bunt single for Grant Venus keeps this inning rolling with 1 out.
Great execution. Third baseman Johnson stayed back. Wagner did not set his feet. He came rushing toward home plate, and the ball was bunted right past him in no man's land between the pitcher's circle, pitcher's mound, third base, and shortstop.
Back to the top of the order, back to where we started this inning. Jared Vaughn led it off with a walk. He scored the first of 5 runs. He's going to look to keep it going with the bases loaded. Massey is at third. Nolan Vaughn at second. Venus at first. Pickoff throw to third, knocked down by the third baseman Johnson. Boy, that ball just about sailed on Andrew Johnson, the catcher, over the head of Johnny Johnson at third. As right now, Somonauk looking to get outs anywhere they can. For the Somonauk Bobcats, an inning that will not end.
Andrew Johnson looking to make a play.
Three balls, no strikes, nowhere to put Vaughn.
It's a situation, if you're Vaughn, if you're going to take 1, you should take 2, quite honestly, with the bases juiced.
That will force in a run. The 6th of the inning, the 9th of the game for Goreville, and it's a 2-run lead for the Black Cats. Troy Felton ready to make another change. The sun is out in Peoria. It's not been shining on Somonauk. It has been all over Goreville. So Nolan Wagner will hand the ball to his head coach. A 6-run 5th inning.
And not done yet.
Swoboda comes back into the ball game. He will head back out to the outfield. Ryan Lumsden will take the hill.
And let's take a look at Mr. Lumsden's numbers on the year. He is just a junior. As we mentioned, every batter that Somonauk's pitching staff has faced has been thrown to by an underclassman. Every pitch is back next year. But right now, Lumsden has a job to do to keep his team in the ballgame in this year's state championship game. He's 3-0. 1.46 earned run average. He's given up 28 hits, rather high in 24 innings pitched. Walked 11, struck out 18. He needs a strikeout right here or a ground ball at somebody to negate the damage. We've turned this thing around where right now it's Somonauk that just needs to stop the bleeding, give themselves a chance in innings number 6 and 7.
I believe that if you're looking at your defense, that outfield is going to be shifted around so that Nate Wagner will go to right field. Bear with me on all of this, folks. There are about 7 position changes here. Center fielder will be Clint Rader. That's what we're expecting to see. Because in left field, Ben Swoboda has come back in. At third base, Brady Kreider moves from right field to third base. And that moves Johnny Johnson from third over to first in addition to Lumsden pitching.
Swoboda back in left.
I believe that's actually Wagner's.
Wagner's staying there, yeah.
Nate Wagner stays in center. In right field, that is Rader.
Raiders played left, center, and right
Yeah.
today.
Lumsden delivers, and the batter at the plate is Braden Webb. 1 out, bases loaded, 6 runs in, a 9-7 lead for Goreville. My goodness, this is the 11th man to bat in the inning. 10 of them have reached base. Braden Webb, a single and a run scored earlier this inning. Just outside the bag at third.
Quite the turn of events, to say the least. 9 runs in the last inning and a third for the Black Cats.
And that ball clips Webb. That will force in another run. Nolan Vaughn will touch home plate. It's 10-7. Number 3 in the order, Brody Lennon. He is 3 for 3 today. Hits with the bases loaded, 1 out, the infield playing back.
This has been a, 25, 30-minute inning,
Boy,
half
I'll
inning
bet.
easily. I mean, it's
Yeah, this half inning.
body language, as you see the expansive outfield, tells you quite a bit right now.
Lumsden now in a hitter's count here with Lennon at the plate. Lumsden the pitcher, 2-0. Lennon goes 2-0 hunting.
I think lost in this big comeback is going to be the last 2 runs scored in the bottom of the 4th. You know, they cut that lead from 7-1 to 7-3. They took advantage of an error, and they really seized momentum.
Another hit for Lennon. His second in the inning, his 4th of the game. 1 run scores. Here comes another. 9-run inning, still only 1 out in the 5th. Venus and Jared Vaughn cross the plate. Webb to third. Duringer comes to bat for the second time. He had a 2-run double the last time he came up earlier in this inning.
It's going to take me a minute, but I'm going to see if there is a record for runs in an inning. Because you and I have not seen too many 9-run innings in a state championship game.
First and third for Duringer. This will end up behind the Somonauk dugout. And to the fan section, it has become stunningly quiet.
Well, the title game, most runs in a 2A title game.
We're 1A. So
That's right. I've
okay.
done that. Yeah, it's 15 by Elgin Westminster Christian.
Ooh.
I've done that twice, and that was against Goreville, so they know it in a 1A game. That's what confused me, by the way. And the most runs in a Class A state tournament game in an inning was Jacksonville Route with 8.
With Lennon running, here's a pop fly right field line. That's going to drop. Scoring from third is Webb. Lennon moves on to second. 10 runs in the inning. 13-7 is the score.
And if you go, Mr. Bernhard, all time, even with the 1-class system, 2-class system, 4-class system, the most runs ever in an inning is 11. Providence New Lenox versus Maroas Forsyth in 1982, and Alton High School in 1951.
This one dropping fast into left field. It is down. Peyton Guyman adds a hit, and the bases are loaded again with 1 out. It is hard to keep up with what is happening right now in this inning. In fact, the scoreboard here at Dozer Park, they only have room for single digits on their scoreboard, so it shows 0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's actually a 10. And now more maneuvering here from Troy Felton. He's trying to find the magic formula, and it's not happening.
Wow.
It is a wow. Lennon is at third. Logan Frasada, he's been running all day for Chance Derringer, is at second. Guyman is at first. Now let's see if we can figure out how everybody will be turned around here. Brady Kreider is going to go back out to right field. Johnson back to third. Lumsden back to first. Rader may end up back in left field. And coming back off the bench is Ben Swoboda.
He is going to do the pitching. Swoboda, according to what we're looking at, this is his second game on the hill. He's only pitched 2 innings, allowed 2 innings, 6 strikeouts. That's pretty doggone impressive. 2 walks, a 0.00 earned run average. But basically, he did not think he'd be pitching in the 5th inning of the state championship game here today. He thought he'd be involved, but not out on the hill. How many hits this inning? I know you had it before.
9 hits, 10 runs, 9 hits.
Again, they've broken the 1A record for runs in an inning, and if they score 1 more, they tie the all-time record for runs in an inning in IHSA tournament play. Let me correct myself on Swoboda. It is his 9th game. He's 3-1, 5.48 earned run average. 23 strikeouts, 17 walks. Thank you for pointing that out, as I probably chose the wrong line to read.
Well, right now, head coach Troy Felton is looking for anybody that can somehow cool off these bats. Goreville scoreless through 3 innings, have scored 13 in the last 2, including 10 here. And again, you keep looking at the scoreboard, you look at your scorebook, there's only 1 out. 14 men come to the plate. This is the 15th form of Peyton Massey. Massey hits it hard to center field. Giving ground is Wagner, makes a great over-the-shoulder catch. Tagging is Lennon. He will score the 11th run of the inning. Boy, you talk about what Wagner just saved. Could have been an utter disaster with the bases loaded. 14-7. The last 14 runs have been scored by the Goreville Blackcats.
Yeah, and if Wagner doesn't catch that ball in center field, it goes to the wall. It's probably a triple, quite honestly. 3 runs score, and they might be looking at a 10-run rule, in all honesty.
Bunt from Nolan Vaughn. He will beat it out. And the bases will be loaded again. Vaughn, first at bat of this ball game, he came in to pinch run for Glidewell, the designated hitter. He finds himself at first base, and Blaine Dunning comes up once again. This will be the 17th batter to come to the plate for Goreville. (14-7). 15 hits in the game. 10 of them this inning. Swoboda finds the strike zone. Dunning was hoping to maybe have that breaking ball clip him on the left shoulder, not to be. Just missed, takes the count to 3-1. I can't imagine how it feels to be standing on that field if you are a Somonauk Bobcat. This has been, in all honesty, unlike anything I have seen in the state finals.
Forever. This inning has been a forever.
3 balls and a strike to Dunning. That will force in another run. Prasado scores his 3rd run of the game. The 2nd run of the inning is a courtesy runner.
And unbelievably, a base hit would end this baseball game.
We're at an 8-run difference right now. Grant Venus at the plate. Venus had a bunt single his last time out. Remember, that's the only hit of the season for Venus. He's now 1 for 5. Count now 1-2 on Venus. Venus, a little looper right center field, and will get down. 1 run scores. Here comes the next, and this game is over. The Goreville Blackcats trailed 7-0 after a 3-run 4th, a 14-run 5th, and a 17-7 1A Class Championship victory. There has not been another game like this for a state championship game.
I tell you what, the fireworks that they always shoot off for the champion, they were way late. They weren't expecting to be shooting these off as they score 14 runs, which is a state record of all time in an inning. And they take a deficit, turn around to a walk-off win in shortened fashion. And we had talked about just hanging around, chipping away. Well, they did that. I still think the big key was the 4th inning, get the 2 runs. It really changed the mindset around. And then the unthinkable, the unimaginable happened. And we crown a champion in scintillating fashion. And Sean Tripp now has a 1, a 2, and a 3 by his name, trophy-wise.
Give us a moment. We'll gather our thoughts. We'll wrap it up. For your 1A champions in 2016, the Goreville Blackcats, 17-7 over Somonauk, and we'll be back.
This NFHS Network event is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Now that's something to smile about.
Olive Garden delivers the final moments. Bring home Italian favorites and they'll cheer for you on game day. Olive Garden is the official dining room of high school sports, and with the new catering delivery service, you never have to miss a moment.
For the past 60 seconds here in the booth, our mouths have been dropped open, having never seen anything like what Goreville did here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 10-run rule after a 14-run inning, 11 hits in the inning, 18 batters came to the plate, only 2 were retired. What was once a 7-0 game and had some folks thinking the way Somonauk was swinging the bats and playing the game, it could be the Bobcats who could invoke the 10-run rule. There was never any thought that something like this would happen. And as you look at the Goreville players down the third baseline, they're pointing at the scoreboard saying, look, there's only a 4 in the 5th inning column. That's a 14, fellas. You are the state champs, 17-7. And our player of the game is a player who started on the mound for Goreville and really did not have his best stuff today. But we honor Brody Lennon for what he did at the plate.
4 out of 4. Drove in, 4 runs on the day? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And really kept his team in the game from a RBI standpoint, an offensive standpoint. Jared Vaughn was on base a couple times last inning. And one more, how about tipping your cap to Grant Venus, who, as you mentioned, 0 hits coming in. All he does is get a key bunt hit. And then I doubt if he imagined he'd get the game-winning hit, the walk-off hit before this ball game, as he looped that into right field, and the improbable was finished.
Final numbers, 17 runs, 16 hits, 1 error for Goreville. Somonauk, 7 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. It will be a game that will be talked about in 1A history for a long, long time. Congratulations to Somonauk making their first state baseball finals in their 68 years of playing baseball at Somonauk High School, and a big congratulations to Goreville. They pick up their first state championship in baseball in school history and do it in amazing fashion. Your final score, Goreville 17, Somonauk 7. We still have 2A baseball to play here in Peoria. Coming up at 3 o'clock, third place game, Rockford Lutheran and Murfreesboro, and then your 2A championship. It will be St. Joe Ogden and Reed Custer. That closes out the 1A baseball season in Illinois. Your state champs, the Goreville Blackhawks, 17-7 over Somonauk. For Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Thanks for enjoying this one with us.
Number 9, Clint Rader. Number 7, Jacob Kenyon. Number 12, Andrew Johnson. Number 13, Ben Sloboda. Number 14, Johnny Johnson. Number 22, Stephen Kenyon.
You get player of the game.
Number 23, Ryan Lumsden. Number 25, Clayton Morris. Number 34, Nolan Wagner. And number 41, Dennis Ferguson. This time between the Blackcats of Goreville. Superintendent Dr. Steve Webb. Principal Jerry Miller. Athletic Director Todd Tripp. Head Coach Sean Tripp. Assistant Coach Ryan Webb. Assistant Coach Kenton Parmley. Number 1, Lane Dunning. Number 4, Nolan Long. Number 6, Jared Long. Number 7, Logan Purple. Number 8, Brendan Davis. Number 9, Caleb Murley. Caldwell. Number 12, Braden Webb. Number 14, Grant Venus. Number 17, Chance Geringer. Number 18, Zane Schutz. Number 20, Peyton Guyman. Number 22, Logan Cruzado. Number 27, Peyton Massey. Number 33, Connor Johnson. And number 34, Brody Lemon. Now, Coach Dalton and the captains of Somonauk, please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Now, Coach Tripp and the captains of Goreville, please step forward to receive the first place trophy.
Olive Garden delivers the final moments. Bring home Italian favorites and they'll cheer for you on game day. Olive Garden is the official dining room of high school sports, and with the new catering delivery service, you never have to miss a moment.